I come out here in several videos and I've already talked about like overview of certain things and certain things, about WWE 2K16. Now don't get me wrong, 2K16 has definitely improved in several areas. There's no doubt about it. Graphics are a lot more smoother and better, despite what some people may say. Presentation looks great. And everything. Everything. There are improvements. There are some key elements that have been improved and added that work. They do. But then again, there are some things that don't work. And I think with future updates and patches, by 2K for this game, these are issues they need to address. One of the issues that they need to address is the submission system. Now, quite honestly, there's a lot of people that, even on the easiest mode, still find it hard to kind of control that submission. I mean, basically, you take your controller, and I believe it's the R stick, the R joystick, if you will. And you basically play a game of chase or tag. And you'll basically, depending on the situation, you're either trying to capture the red mark or the red rectangle with your blue one, or you're trying to use your blue rectangle, your half circle, let's put it that way. You're using your blue half circle to avoid the red half circle, because if they match up and you're the one applying the submission, then yes, you get a submission win. But if you're the one getting put into a submission and you're trying your best to avoid the red, and all of a sudden it connects with your blue, that's it. You submit. So I think one of the things that 2K Sports has to do with WWE 2K16 in future updates and patches is basically fix that. In other words, give us an option, unless it's already in there, give us an option to go back to the old school way. Or do what you did with the pen. Basically make it a one-button deal. I mean, I get the fact that you were trying to make it more realistic, so by doing that little chase mini game, it makes it more realistic, more authentic, because in wrestling, you hold on as long as you can before eventually you get to the ropes, or you find a way to break out, or you eventually tap. So I can get that. All myself and anybody else is asking of 2K16 to do, of 2K Sports to do, is fix it to where it's a lot easier. So that's one thing that I hope, and I'm asking them right now, to fix, to patch up, to update. Because quite frankly, there's reports going around that several people are returning this even though it's a better improvement. The reason they're returning it is because of issues like that. Another issue that I think needs to be addressed is the creation. Now, yes, it's great to see a lot of things added back in there along with some new additions. Don't get me wrong. It's great to see that. But there's several things about creation that I mentioned in a previous video that I think need to be addressed. And they need to be patched up. And these are things that a lot of people feel the same way about. One, you have a freaking limit on downloads. That's right, you have a freaking limit on downloads, maybe even uploads, as well as a freaking time limit, a 24-hour time limit between them. Now, some might say that's a good thing and all that. That's fine. And some might say it's to make sure the server doesn't get backed up or crash. And that's understandable. But let me say something. Let me explain something. There are many times that I've gone on my Kindle, because that's one of my primary uses of this, to upload a logo or a picture. And sometimes it'll tell me cannot connect with game server. And there are a few times, not recently, but a few times when I first got the game, even after the first patch, then it would say cannot connect to game server. Or cannot connect to server. And I think it did it recently just once. So this whole thing about, oh, the limitation helps make sure the servers don't crash, that's not necessarily true. So 2K, if I'm you guys, 2K Sports, if I'm you, what I do basically is I patch that up. There's no need for a limitation of 20 downloads a day and 24 hours, between 24 hours. There's no reason for it. What you should be doing is this. You should make it unlimited, and that's it. No time limits, no limit on downloads. Basically, put unlimited in there. I mean, what made you think? What made you think this is a good idea? What, to make sure the servers don't crash? Okay, fine. But you know what you do? If you have the money, you go out and you get bigger servers. You expand your servers. You make sure you have enough room. Because quite honestly, this is stupid. So hopefully whatever next patch or update you come up with, you address that. Because I know that through Facebook and Twitter and all kinds of social media, even here on YouTube, you're having people letting you know that. Because people are not happy about that limitation. There's a lot of people that have what's known as CAW leagues that depend on the creation system, whether they're downloading something or uploading something, and they depend on it to upload and download as much as they can. I mean, let's take the people behind CCL, College Champions League. Let's take them. They have a lot of things to work with to promote that. And you know what? How do you think they feel at the fact that they want to get one thing done, but yet they gotta wait. They gotta wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. How do you think they feel? They're not happy. They're not happy. And there's a lot of people with other CAW leagues that feel the same way. Now again, I understand some people will come out and say, Brian, it is for the best. The servers sometimes do need to be, sometimes the servers do get mixed up and they crash. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that. It's more along the lines that I feel, okay, I feel basically they need to make it unlimited, or at least, if you're going to do the 100 created wrestler slots, as well as maybe 100, well basically if you're going to do the 100 created slots, maybe for the wrestlers, maybe for the created belts, created arenas, created shows, whatever. If you're going to do that, that's fine. But at least give the same attention and the same equalness to your community creations. Let us have 100 downloads or uploads to use instead of just 20. Because that way, even if we don't finish them all, we'll still have something more. Even if we don't use them all, that's fine. At least it works. Think about it this way. Instead of doing 24 hours, do a week. Say you got 100 downloads, basically you got 100 opportunities to upload or download something for a whole week. And then after that week it resets. It makes more sense because you think honestly people are going to sit at the PS4s or the Xbox Ones and basically upload or download 100 items in one day? No. They'll probably do 5 or 4 or 10 of them, or maybe even 20, and that expands. 7 days a week, 5 days a week, doesn't matter. I mean, think about this. 5 days a week, there's your 100. There's your 100 right there. And when you think about it, even, how do I put this? Even at 15 or something like that, it works. It works. My point is, if you're going to keep a limit, at least expand on it. Expand on maybe up to 75, 5 to 100 slots, and make it a 5 to 7 day deal. Or at least, a 5 to 7 day deal. at least that gives people time to use it, and they're not wasting it. And in that way, it can reset. I mean, if you do it like that, let's say you do 7 days a week or 5 days a week, then that person just has to wait over the weekend or whatever till the next week, to the following Monday. So let's say somebody wastes all 75 of the uploads or downloads in one day. Sorry, you gotta wait. Okay, fine. But at least they will have plenty to work with if they're doing logos or whatever. That's a fact. Another thing is, basically, before I get into the other thing, so basically all I'm asking, and I'm sure everybody else is asking you this, try to at least expand on it and give it a longer time limit if you're going to stick with this direction, or just go unlimited. Because honestly, there is no need for this. There isn't. Another thing that some people want addressed is the point system. Whose idea was to put a point system in this thing? Whose idea? I mean, seriously. When I first started the game, I had 175 points to work with. What, is it all depending on the venue? Or on the venue that you use to create an arena? Or what kind of materials and stuff you use to create a belt? Or create your wrestler or diva? Is that what it is? Who came up with this solution? Who came up with it? It's stupid. It is primarily stupid. I mean, the fact when you go to create an arena, there are certain sections, depending on what kind of venue I guess that you use. When you create your arena, then when you get to the barricade part, to the ringside area, the floors and the barricade, the points increase. They increase from 8 to 32 for the 1024 by 1024. It's stupid. And that needs to be addressed and fixed. The point system should not be there. And again, I understand people are going to say, well, Brian, it's to help out so that there's no confusion. And oh, by the way, Brian, maybe you should go with the smaller stuff. Look, I understand that. I get that. Okay? I'm starting to realize that. But still, this whole point system is ridiculous. And it needs to be addressed. It needs to be patched up. I mean, honestly, seriously, if you're going to give points, at least give 500 or 1,000. It's ridiculous, okay? I mean, I get maybe it's to prevent crashing and all that, fine. But honestly, if I'm 2K Sports, if I'm you guys at 2K Sports, I honestly do the right thing, correct this, and either, if you're going to stick with a point system, go to 500 as the limit, or 250. Here, go between 250 and 750. That makes sense, because at least that's a little bit more of an expansion, and it gives more leeway. Okay? Stop with this, because honestly, whoever came up with this point system and the points that go up to 128 or whatever, 150, stupid. And honestly, when someone's creating an arena or whatever, make sure the points remain as they are before. Do not increase them. If a 10 by 24 is going to be 10 by 24 and it's 8 points or 16 points, keep it at that. Do not expand it. Because honestly, it's ridiculous and it needs to change. And it needs to stop doing that. And 2K, you guys need to fix this soon. And then, the other thing that needs to be improved on is, where is the music for the entrance music or the main menu music or whatever for the characters? Where's the entrance music? Anytime someone like me uploads through PS4 or maybe even through Xbox One, there's no entrance music. We watch what we've uploaded and there's no entrance music. We come here on YouTube, we watch what we uploaded. Nothing's there. Is it the same on Facebook? Is it the same on Daily Motion? Who knows? But this is something that needs to be addressed. This is stupid. I mean, I get the fact that you're trying to protect from copyright. I get that, so it's not blocked in all the other countries or wherever and everybody can watch it. I get that. But guess what? You still get copyrighted. How do I know? My CAW character in this game, as a champion, uses Sting's current entrance. Yeah, I may have to change that, but it uses Sting's current entrance. My Freedom Fighter stable of Sally, Sonic, Bunny, and Nicole use the D-Generation X tag team entrance. And they have the Titantron of the Brothers of Destruction. So yeah, copyright is still there. And it's still watchable. So I don't know what the big deal is. That is something that I'm sure a lot of people have come to you and said that needs to be addressed. So please, 2K, everything that I've mentioned here in this video is everything that everybody else has probably come to you about, and it needs to be taken care of. You need to fix this. You need to patch it up. As well as patch up some glitches too. I mean, there was one time one of the characters I was using was going for a move off the top rope. She missed it, and she ended up not only missing, but she went right out the ring, like for no reason. And then suddenly people pop up for no reason. It's like, what's going on? These are things you need to address too. So 2K Sports, on behalf of a lot of fans that feel the same way, please fix this. Patch these things up. Do what's right. I understand and respect the fact that you want to make sure nothing crashes or anything, but still, you're always going to have problems, no matter what. So please fix these issues, update the things, patch them up, so that way these things don't get addressed ever again. And honestly, 2K, and I know some fans are going to hate me for saying, are not going to like me for saying this, but if you are going to do these kind of games again, take your time with them. If you have to wait a year, add DLC as a constellation prize to keep us entertained until you come up with something. But take your time with developing a game. That's all I'm asking. But again, please, everything that I've mentioned here, everybody else that's mentioned to you, these are issues that need to be addressed, need to be patched up and fixed with your next update. So please, that's all we're asking is just do this. And that's all I'm going to say.